Hello. On today's episode, we talk about friend of the show, Kat Abughazaleh, being indicted by the DOJ, the recent ICE purge, and the latest with SNAP benefits. Stick around if you know what's good for you. Hi, hello, welcome back to Even More News, the first and only news podcast. My name is Katy Stoll.
Da-da-da-da! It is. Hi, Katy. Oh, my gosh. That's such the way to introduce the show that we've always introduced it in that way. I'm Cody.
Cody, he is indeed. And oh boy, we have such a fun guest today. Our friend, actor, writer, comedian, and host of the Man Boy Nice YouTube channel. It's Daniel Gordh.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Check out what I brought. My puppy.
Show.
Daisy.
This is Daisy. She's a little girl.
Hi, sweet baby.
And I'm me. Hi.
Get him out of there.
Yeah,
Daisy
I'm bored.
again.
To anybody listening, not watching, Daisy is a very adorable small white
She's a Morkie.
One of those
dog.
fluffers.
A
One of those
Morkie.
fluffers.
She's a
One of those
Maltese
fluffers.
Yorkie. I had never heard of it. We found her in the shelter place, and I was like, what is this dog? And they said Morkie. And I was like, I have no more clarity than I did a second ago. But
I know this is very annoying. What I'm going to say is that you
gosh.
could have named her Mindy, like Mork and Mindy.
I did
sure
think
you
about
thought
that.
that.
And then I was like, I bet for the Morkie insiders, they're like, that is so obvious.
Another Mindy.
They're like eye roll, very clever.
Real clever. The
Is your
Morkie
dog
like that.
from Orc? Okay.
Could have named her Robin Williams.
So I went with a very obscure name, Daisy.
Everybody can calm the heck down because Jonathan is also here. Okay,
Oh, okay. I will then. Calm down.
Cody,
Hi.
you're not the one that gets the heat when we forget to introduce Jonathan. I am.
Well, all those accounts are me, so I'm really...
Oh, so you're the porn accounts I delete the first minute or two of every episode
Yeah.
going up?
I'm still mad, but I'm still going to do it.
And your German is excellent, I have to say.
Thank you. Guten Tag.
Holidays, we have them.
And we like them.
We've got some fun ones, but also, look, I'm not going to... Jonathan, you highlighted that Friday, October 31st is National Doorbell Day. They specifically wanted that day to coincide with Halloween. Because Friday is also it's Halloween. Happy Halloween and happy National Doorbell Day. We don't always announce, like the real holidays, but I feel like Halloween is one of our least problematic holidays, personally.
I think it's satanic and evil and should not be allowed on our
Yeah.
streets. We are a good Christian nation, and we shouldn't be doing goofs, ghouls, any of that kind of stuff.
Couldn't think of a third G?
I'm
Goblins.
Goofs and ghouls. No, goofs and ghouls.
Ghosts.
Oh yeah,
It's
right,
a
that's what it
rhyming
is.
thing. Yeah, it just happened to be G's.
Now I'm a big fan of horror, as you guys know, but I'm pretty cynical about the role of Big Doorbell in our Halloween festivities. That seems pretty craven, if you ask me.
Wes Craven.
Also, I'm wearing a They Live shirt, so I'm just really in the mood.
That's one of the reasons we have you here today. Well, also, I wanted you to come on the show. Ghosts.
A third G. Thank you. Okay, ghosts.
Daniel has a new YouTube channel, and your first installment came out earlier this month, and I believe, did you release your second video today?
I did this morning. Yes, and they're very appropriate for the season. Today's video is a video essay about some woke horror movies from the 80s, specifically They Live, Parents, The Stuff, and Society, if you know any of those movies. And kind of talking about, I was like, you might not, Katy, Cody, maybe, Jonathan, I don't know as much.
Honestly, most of the horror movies I've seen in my life have been with you or back in the days when we used to do nom nights at Will's house. And anyway.
So yeah, this is kind of an analysis of that. And just came out today. And the other one the first video came out, I'm going to plug because it's for the second Nightmare on Elm Street, the gay one, Freddy's Revenge, which is 40 years old on Saturday. That's the 40th anniversary. It came out the year I was born, 1985.
Ugh.
And that one is basically an analysis of the gay themes in the movie, gay history and queer history at the time that it came out, and a little bit of my story being a queer actor in Hollywood trying to make it. And here I am. I made it. So that's spoiler alert. But yeah, if you're in a spooky mood and want to see something that's not just a rehashing of the movies, but kind of talks about their themes and relates them to the 80s and our current moment, then check it out.
Yeah, so you're telling me that movies were woke in the 80s too?
You're not going to believe this, but there were movies with social commentary, especially horror movies, even before the 80s, when you think about things like Rosemary's Baby or Night of the Living Dead, things like that. But in the 80s especially, people were commenting on Reagan stuff, and Reagan stuff and now stuff is darkly similar in so many ways. So that's one of the reasons I'm focusing on it, besides being a huge nerd for it. So, and
you're great at it.
Alien wasn't woke, though.
No. Alien is about an alien, and they're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, and it's a scary alien.
Yeah.
Okay. I love movies about scary aliens.
That poor corporation, though. How are they going to recover from that?
That's not part of it.
We'll find out in the sequels. When the hero comes back, the Weyland-Yutani hero. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in the new show, there's multiple companies now, all of which are good.
Yeah,
our companies control
group
the world,
of
and they're
ragtag.
good. That's not really what it's about. Yeah, it's just like
group of heroes, group of companies.
All right, it's time for us to move on to the main event and talk about the news. How fun, Jonathan.
Big news in our world because journalist and congressional candidate and friend of the show, Kat Abughazaleh, was indicted by the Department of Justice along with other ICE protesters. They're charged with conspiring to impede an officer. There's a video that she posted to Twitter where you can see her and other people standing in front of an ICE vehicle moving slowly. And that's it. They also say, that there was banging on the car and someone scrawled pig on the car, but there's no evidence that she did that. She's just standing there.
I don't see how she could have possibly scrolled pig based on what I'm seeing from this video.
Yeah.
She very gently has her hands on the hood because the car is moving forward. And there's also a crush of people around you. So there's like stability issues.
It seems to me that the charge is trying not to get run over.
Yeah.
Basically, which is...
It's a crime.
I mean, obviously this is like they're doing this to multiple people in Congress or candidates. It's obviously meant to drain their money and make them focus on this and to get political points. But the thing that drives me so crazy is that people are being indicted for like not trying to get run over or for like for things that we're all seeing these videos every day where someone's just filming them nearby and says something that hurts the ICE agent's feelings and then they get tackled. And then 4 men with knees on their back. I had a friend who was pelted by maybe 4 non-lethals. You know her, actually, Amelia.
Oh, wow.
Was shot up at one of the No Kings protests and was doing nothing. Was just standing there. One in her face. She was like nearly, the pictures are crazy, but nearly lost her eye. So I guess the thing is, there is absolutely no accountability for these crazy overreaches of brutality and a complete exaggeration of the, acts of someone standing there and saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't be kidnapping people.
Yeah, there's no acceptable behavior to them. They will find a reason, no matter what you're doing, to frame it like you are obstructing or resisting or causing unrest, violence. They've been talking about this for so long and how to crack down on protests more effectively. Even during the Biden administration, they had legislation introduced to make it easier for them to categorize people as causers of riots when they just attended a protest or they organized something. And they're definitely using her as an example, I find it hard to believe that she would have scratched pig in the vehicle. It's an absurd claim. If she scrawled anti-ice, I might believe
Anti-ice,
her.
yeah.
That classic
Leave
catchphrase.
it, but
Yeah.
the pig is a little much.
Me no like ice, baddie
No,
baddie.
like ice. Oh, well, then she did it, obviously, yeah.
It's wild because you're right. The point is to tie them up legally, drain their money, divide their attention. Also, maybe there's a percentage of people that works on to a degree to cast aspersions on her character. However, ultimately, I think this just works against them. I think this galvanizes people. I think she's going to see a huge spike fundraising. She's being talked about. What you're doing is raising her profile, so you're welcome. I don't know. But let's not forget that Kat also, the day after she was on our show, like a month ago, at a different protest, they threw her to the ground pretty violently. And that's on video too. Like, this is just madness. But they certainly are targeting her. And she is so freaking impressive and strong and, handling this with grace. And she's not going to be deterred, but it is very chilling, and that is the intention.
Yeah, they're also, I mean, because they've talked about this in various ways for so long, and it's kind of coming to a head because, like, the ice is separate from the president sending in the National Guard to all these cities, but they're also very, very connected. And this is, I think, an example of that sort of how they kind of converge, because they've also hinted at for a long time. It seems like it's definitely going to happen. They're going to have what are they calling them? Reaction forces. The Pentagon will be sending troops as quick reaction forces for civil unrest, which again is a chilling statement, figuratively and literally. Like, that is part of the attempt, is to chill speech and chill any sort of attempts at protest. But also, what a chilling thing to say, yeah, we're going to actually like get troops together to prepare for when people protest, so that we can crack down on them. It is very not good, I guess.
These local police forces are already paramilitary organizations. The LAPD is already crazy. It's so over militarized on its own. It has too much power in LA. And people not from LA are like, it's crazy. And we're like, yeah, please don't send anyone else. The military force of the LAPD is enough to fight off small countries by itself.
Exactly.
So
it's overkill, again, figuratively, literally.
Well, and they sent the Predator drone over us and tweeted the footage that they got from the LA protests. DHS did.
That's wild.
Which is horrifying.
Okay, but
this is
Predator's not woke, right?
No, actually, I'm not sure. Is Predator might not be.
I think it's a little woke. I think.
Is it? I haven't analyzed it for a while.
He's always playing identity.
Maybe that's
politics,
your next video.
Trying to
It is
shift
a little
his
military
identity.
is awesome, but they are in Latin America doing crazy stuff. I need to think about it.
I also want to just go back to the charge of it's conspiring, because she's with these other people, conspiring to impede an officer. Impede an officer suggests that they were like making some sort of detention right there, but they're protesting at the Broadview facility. So you're impeding the officer whose seeming intent is just to drive through and get the protesters to leave. So it's not like she's impeding, law enforcement from doing their
job. Yeah, exactly. They weren't even in the middle.
And planning to stand over there.
Yeah,
I've seen that before.
Protesting is fine in the First Amendment and all that, but planning to do it with others can't do that.
Well, exactly. Can't plan to protest because it'll turn into a thing, and then you're liable for all the damage done there. We even saw there's a clip of just every day there's something like this happening, or like a masked person trying to grab somebody, and then a bunch of people show up and are filming it and stop doing that, get out of there, and then they leave. is that impeding? Or are they going to arrest those people? I'm not suggesting they should. I don't think they should, to be clear.
Yeah, don't float that idea, Cody.
We've run into a problem these days of people suggesting terrible things for them to start doing, so I don't want to do that.
They are definitely walking up to people filming and saying, you're violating Section 18 USC 111. And no, you're not. You're allowed to film law enforcement. It's completely within your rights. For now. But, they're just, making up lies about it being illegal and really threatening people. And so thank you to the people who keep filming, who are there and see something and keep filming.
What else is there to do? What recourse do you have? They're chipping away all these ways to voice your displeasure with government. If you make protesting illegal, and then you make it harder to vote, what do you want people to do? Debate Vice President Vance, I guess, at a Turning Point USA event.
Yeah.
I mean,
the alternative.
Go ask him a question. He'll answer it honestly,
concert.
and that's how we do government now.
I think the thing that I want to, I guess, focus on with some of this stuff is that, they'll ram a car and pull out an American citizen. They'll raid a Chicago high-rise, not a high-rise, but a big apartment building, and they'll arrest dozens of American citizens, zip tie them, go into their rooms, zip tie them, and put them wherever they want. There is no amount of collateral damage too much for what they're doing. And they want to ramp it up now, so it will be getting worse.
If you know me, you know I am always on the run. Work commitments, social commitments, bake sales, escaping a T-800 from the future who thinks I'm crucial to stopping the next cyborg war. It never ends. Well, fortunately, I found a solution for activewear that feels great and doesn't break the bank. Fabletics! When I signed up as a new VIP, I got 80% off everything. And after that, the membership is about $60 a month unless I skip. I have been getting top-notch quality workout gear that other brands were charging me $200 a piece for. Seriously, folks, I work out almost every day and I basically live in leggings. And as you know, I recently moved to the mountains and there's no malls nearby to buy stuff. So instead of spending a fortune on athletic clothes online, Fabletics helps me feel comfortable and cute with entire outfits that I genuinely love. Like this thing, look, it's got little thumb holes, and they sent me this jacket, which I love, and there's matching brown leggings, and also this little guy, it's a cute sweater. Honestly, full outfits, it's amazing. So if you are super active, struggle with how expensive workout clothes are, and have a robotic endoskeleton covered by living tissue chasing you relentlessly, then this service could be for you. So treat yourself to gear that looks good, feels good, and doesn't break the bank with Fabletics. Go to fabletics.com/SMN and sign up as a VIP and get 80% off everything. That's fabletics.com/SMN to sign up as a VIP and get 80% off everything. And I just want to quickly highlight that this is a monthly subscription service. That's how they can give you the good deals, but you can pause or cancel at any time. Awesome. This is top quality activewear, so you can comfortably sneak into Cyberdyne Systems headquarters and look good while you do it. Fabletics.com/SMN. Thumb holes!
Whether you get your news from the internet, the TV, the radio, or from TV on the radio, it can be really overwhelming these days. You'll just be listening to the news on your commute, and suddenly the United States military will be blowing stuff up right above the freeway. It's bedlam, I tells ya! And that's why I recommend Ground News, a website and app we specifically wanted to sponsor us, which you can access via the QR code on the screen. They gather news from hundreds of sources and compare coverage. I've been working with Ground News for a long time, and that is for a reason. I think they're one of the most powerful solutions for getting to the truth of a story, given all the spin you will see online. For example, Once you're safely where you're going and not on the exploding freeway anymore, you can see how the Marines were doing a weird display for some reason over the Interstate 5 freeway and how shrapnel fell from the sky and would have hit civilian cars had the governor not closed the freeway as a precaution. On Ground News, I can see how multiple different outlets covered that story and what they chose to focus on. It really clarifies the news for me and makes it easier to move on after my commute resembles the Roland Emmerich film 2012. So head over to ground.news/SMN for 40% off unlimited access. You'll get a factuality analysis of each source and their blind spot feature to see which stories are being ignored by a certain segment of the media. That's ground.news/SMN for 40% off. Don't do it while driving. That's a terrible idea, unless shrapnel is already raining down on you. So the link is in the description. The TV is on the radio. The me is a wolf like me. Whatever.
If you've ever been in the market for a new home, you know home shopping can be a lot. There's so much you don't know and so much you need to know. What are the neighborhoods like? What are the schools like? Who is the agent and who knows the listing or neighborhood best? And why can't all this information just be in one place? Well, now it is on Homes.com. They've got everything you need to know about the listing itself. But even better, they've got comprehensive neighborhood guides and detailed reports about local schools, and their agent directory helps you see the agent's current listings and sales history. Homes.com collaboration tools make it easier than ever to share all this information with your family. It's a whole cul-de-sac of home shopping information, all at your fingertips. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
6'7". You know how the kids are saying 6'7" for some reason? Well, I'm one of the kids, you see. I am youthful and translate well to the 15 to 24 demographic. Yes, indeed. And to that end, 6'7". I wanted to get myself some hip new clothes that accurately reflect my youthfulness. To that end, I got myself some jeans from the Perfect Jeans. And let me tell you, they aren't lying. No cap, I mean. No cap. These babies are soft, stretchy, and fit perfectly. They make me look 6 years younger and feel 7 years better. That's right, I feel 22 again because I am only slightly older than that. I have Ritz, you see. It's Riz. I have Riz. The point is, look, there's no more chafing or flat butt with the Perfect Jean. When you wear these things, people will be saying, "Gat." To you again. Gat. What? Look, it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our audience gets 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code MORENEWS15 at checkout. 15%! That's 6 plus 7 plus 2. 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code MORENEWS15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Fuck your khakis. Fuck them. And get the Perfect Jean. It's giving advertisement.
The more we learn about that Chicago raid, the more horrific it is. Just an absolute injustice across the board. Terrorism. I keep saying that, but that we are a terrorist nation. But yes, they do want to ramp things up. Jonathan, what has been going on over at ICE and lay the groundworks of the leadership shakeup that just happened?
I mean, ICE is every day. It seems like there's some new horror story. We've got that Chicago apartment building in Chicago this week. They pulled a 67-year-old U.S. citizen out of his car, kneeled on top of him, breaking 6 ribs and causing internal bleeding while children in costumes getting ready for a Halloween parade watched. And then on their way out, they fired tear gas.
This is so freaking horrific. It's unbelievable.
Also, this is DHS Secretary Kristi Noem today.
There's no American citizens have been arrested or detained. We focus on those that are here illegally. And anything that you would hear or report that would be different than that is simply not true and false reporting.
Remember, ProPublica found last week that 170 U.S. citizens that they know of had been detained or arrested and held for at least 24 hours in some cases.
That statement is the equivalent of saying, I am right no matter what anyone says, and if you say anything that isn't what I want to be true, then it's not true.
Yeah.
That's the Trump doctrine. That's where we're at. That's what we say.
Yeah, don't trust your lying eyes and ears every day in a new and horrendous way. That 67-year-old guy with a running club must have done something.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have run.
Shouldn't have run.
Shouldn't
have had a
Definitely
club.
shouldn't have tried to go home.
Shouldn't be 67.
Shouldn't have lived in a place where other people lived.
The first you came is happening now. It's literally anybody. There's no need. There's no justification. It's you're in my way. I don't care what happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
You hurt my feelings. You're in my way. You're
Gotta get
near
those
me.
numbers up.
I mean, the thing that stuck out to me about the Chicago raid of that apartment building that was so crazy is that it seemed like this building was in crisis and needed a variety of things. Mm-hmm. And so DHS's solution was raid it, traumatize everyone who lives there, wreck it, and leave it with no one in there. And now the people who are still there are both traumatized and saying it looks like they're going to close this building and evict us all probably, and we're going to be homeless. So it helps no one. It was not meant to solve any problems.
The point of the authoritarian regime is not to solve problems. It's to point fingers at people who might be causing the problems and just to keep the solution going forever.
But we should talk about the shakeup at the leadership of ICE.
Why are they doing a bad job, or is ICE bad?
According to the Trump administration, they're not being fascist enough. So
see,
earlier
I would
this
have
week,
thought they were being too fascist, but not enough fascist.
I knew something was off with the ratio, but I didn't know that's what it was.
So yeah, earlier this week, there was a big purge at ICE. Nearly half of ICE's 25 field offices saw their directors replaced, many with Border Patrol directors who the administration believes will be tougher and bring even more terrifying tactics to up the number of arrests and deportations. So you're going to see more stuff in line with what that Border Patrol guy, Greg Bovino, who's been out and about in LA and Chicago in a big, long, scary leather coat, wants to do. And there has apparently reportedly been some friction between two sides of this in the administration. For all of their awfulness, Border Czar Tom Homan and ICE Director Todd Lyons wanted to go after the worst of the worst and the convicted criminals. And then DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and her guy, Corey Lewandowski.
God, Corey's still
I didn't realize
chugging
that they
along.
were. I didn't know about the rumors of
It's
their
like an
affair.
open secret. Like
Yeah, I've heard
she's
about
still
this.
married to her husband, but they lived in separate houses in South Dakota forever. So
Okay,
she's
well.
with Corey Lewandowski is the rumor thing that everyone knows, apparently. They want those numbers higher. So they've won for the time being, and so they got rid of a bunch of vice directors and replaced them with Border Patrol people. And there's a sense that we might hope ridiculously that the ICE guys were back in charge soon.
If you're going to do mass deportations now, it can't be like, well, we're going to go after the worst of the worst first, and then we're going to do this and so on. It's like, you just got to get anybody, whoever it is. So you put people in charge who are going to do whoever, whatever. It's so depressing to think that they were like trying to do not even like what we would want them to do, but like the minimal like way to like mitigate the damage from a mass deportations now project.
The thing they were saying they wanted to do.
The thing they said they were going to do.
Which they already were not doing.
Right, which is bad, but and a lie, and they're not doing that. They need to make it worse. Is depressing.
Right. And the Chicago raid, they literally did take anyone else they found.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They were like,
right.
we were looking for some people and we just scooped a bunch of extra ones and now no one can find them.
We think we got one.
And that was too conservative for us. We need to go crazier.
Gang member. Yeah. So they need to do more.
Well, in Chicago, that was a CBP operation with the Black Hawk helicopters and everything. So that's the kind of thing they want more of. The press they got from that didn't dissuade them. They want more of that.
I mean, it just does not matter what public opinion is of this, clearly, because I mean, not to talk about Joe Rogan, but like people all around us that previously were like, yeah, you know, I'm okay with some amount of deportations and definitely let's get the criminals out. Even those people are horrified, and it's too late. They voted for it. It's happening and it's out of everybody's control.
And they're not even changing their minds. They're just saying, oh, it's bad that they're doing this. Well, yeah, but you still think like we got to do this and this and this and this and this. They're not like adjusting.
A minute there, as this started, it seemed like maybe Trump would adjust policies based on the reaction and you know, private industries, farmers, the hotel industry saying like, you're killing us, man. But then Stephen Miller gets his ear back and instead we double down. I don't have answers for this right now, but I just want to throw out and remind people, Alligator Alcatraz, where did all those missing people go? Everything happens so fast and this keeps happening. And there's all these people that have been deported to countries that they didn't come from. And it's so hard to keep on top of the news as it breaks. And then you remember, 3 months. This is... Yeah. People are in crisis right now.
It's cumulative.
It's cumulative. Thank you for the word.
You're like, and that story is still going on now. Plus, you know,
even though
more.
we've all moved on, it's overwhelming. And then there's this facial recognition app that they are now using, Mobile Fortify, which is pretty fucking scary.
I'm sure it's accurate and useful and legal.
Yeah, they're trying to identify people's legal status with this app. And Homeland Security Committee member Benny Thompson, he's a Democrat, he gave this quote about it. He says, ICE officials have told us that an apparent biometric match by Mobile Fortify is a definitive determination of a person's status and that an ICE officer may ignore evidence of American citizenship, including a birth certificate, if the app says the person is an alien. That doesn't seem legal.
That's absurd.
It's terrifying.
Somebody should do something about that. Who do we call?
The implications of this app existing and how it can be used, and then how it can be used against everybody. It's so scary.
So we're getting to like the papers, please stage of like, you just, I mean, I've seen people, there's another video recently of this person who like they didn't even care that they had their birth certificate with them. Another one where they're like, I'm sorry, I don't have my passport with me. So we're in the stage where like you gotta have your documents with you at all times. But if the app says that otherwise,
that doesn't even matter,
it doesn't matter.
Oh, I definitely want agents just fiddling on an app on their phone and pointing it at my face and deciding if I get to live in this country or not. That sounds so competent.
It's good. It'll help.
Since apps never get fucked up.
This isn't a new observation, but it really does feel as though we're living through the flashbacks of a dystopian movie where you're seeing the change happen and all of the normalization of biometric match. What? You're scanning my fucking body? What? You have all my information. You watch. Yeah. But that's where we are. We are living through the flashbacks of a dystopian nightmare. I think we should move along and talk a little bit more about SNAP benefits. We've talked about this a bit this week already, but we're down to the wire here, and there's a lot of bullshit happening online.
Republicans hate SNAP, that it exists. They don't want it to exist. They don't want any sort of welfare program generally. They don't like free school lunches, anything that can be framed as like, well, my hard work lets this person have food or whatever, their whole worldview. So they don't want SNAP. They don't want anything like that. And so that's always been true. And even when J.D. Vance, who recently brought, once again, we got the Haitians eating dogs and cats, was brought up in an interview, and he laughed about it because he's full of shit and he knows it, and he's a liar and he knows it. During that, like, all these immigrants going to Springfield, Ohio, they're taking away these white people's SNAP benefits that we care about so much. We want them to have their SNAP benefits. And now that these benefits will not be paid for, you have this huge campaign of Republicans and conservative blue check slop types going out and making their case against it and lying about it. A lot of lying about it, because they have to lie about it. They have to frame it like it's the worst thing in the world and it doesn't actually help people, or like, oh, they're buying only candy or whatever, because that's always been their project, and they only use it as a thing that we need to help people for when it's advantageous to them slightly. Even during the shutdown, Vance, there's an interview, was like, and now these single mothers can't pay for food because the government's shut down. You don't want them to. You spent a year calling them childless cat ladies. What are you talking about, caring about people not being able to afford food?
One of the things they're saying, not only it's only being used to buy Dr. Pepper, but there's AI slop videos now to try to convince people that people are they're making a killing off of SNAP benefits. Poor people aren't. You're the victim, actually.
Yeah, actually.
I get over $2,500 a month in stamps. I sell them $2,000 worth for about $1,200 to $1,500 cash. That's why everybody's upset. Folks say we're taking advantage, but that's how we get by.
And that's the frustration we're hearing out here in downtown Atlanta.
Jesus.
So that was like real, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's like from the news.
Definitely real.
There is a campaign going on. There's one specific account doing this, and others as well. Specifically, just AI. And you can see in that video, the Sora watermark is blurred out.
Yeah.
Because they're lying. They're liars. They're trying to trick people. They're trying to lie to people. They're doing terrible propaganda. And there's an account and a bunch of people making specifically, many cases, a black woman who's that woman in the video. I don't know who that is in real life, or it was trained on that on the app or whatever. But it's just specifically black women, usually doing like TikTok style, like direct to camera stuff, because that's the stuff that AI can make most effectively. Just lying about SNAP, lying about doing fraud, as many lying talking points as they can, and making it seem like it's real and it's this epidemic, and it's all slop. And I would be surprised if a Vance or somebody in that circle didn't share one of those soon, thinking that it was real or not caring that it's fake.
They definitely don't care if it's fake or not. And to kind of plug my own video a little bit, but actually just to kind of reference what I'm talking about in it somewhat, is that this is so obviously reminiscent of the welfare queen's lie from Reagan.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's so, and if you recognize that this is something that is cyclical and happens often, then you get to kind of take the power away and say, oh, right, this is a lie. Because one, they're ignoring all the facts about SNAP. They make up stuff. They're making fake videos to try to take it down. And at the same time, Donald Trump is trying to siphon $250 million from the Justice Department for investigating him. Taxpayer money.
Right.
Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars that he literally just wants to go to him. At the same time, he's pretending that the poorest people, often children, disabled people, veterans, are living large. They've been doing this for decades and decades and decades, and also in the 80s doing the same thing, deregulating industries all over the place. And basically they want to say that the poorest people are siphoning off money from the rich, and of course the rich are siphoning off money from the poor and making us poorer.
Yeah, there's so little money is actually spent on SNAP and these benefits.
It's minuscule. compared to the money that we spend elsewhere, to the billions of dollars we're sending to Argentina, to Israel. You know, it's laughable, their claims of abuse of this system, or as if that money moves the needle for them at all. The spin, like, there's such a disconnect between the online reality and the reality of Americans. And I live in a conservative community, and a lot of people are on SNAP benefits. Every day I log onto social media and people are organizing already, trying to create food drives. And these are people of all persuasions. We're not talking about just some leftists or whatever. This is affecting people's reality, and they're terrified, and Christmas is coming. You can't just make up lies, because that flies in the face of a young mom who's got 4 kids and is working full time, and that doesn't cover her rent, let alone the food that she's going to feed her babies, let alone herself.
Well, you can lie, though. You actually can,
They can
quite
lie.
Easily.
But again, it's like they don't care about even disenfranchising their own base.
Yeah, no, they don't care. It doesn't matter to them. It's just whoever's the pawn at the moment. They share like DoorDash screenshots. Like you can use Snap on DoorDash. You can use Snap for the food at DoorDash, for grocery food at DoorDash. It doesn't pay for your delivery. It doesn't pay for like other stuff. But according to Matt Walsh, SNAP recipients are entitled, lazy, barely literate, and frankly just bad people. So there you have it. That's the truth of the matter, actually.
Did Grok agree with that?
I think that actually Grok was like, wait a second. Sorry to be woke for a second, but maybe it's a little more nuanced than that, Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh has been nonstop Snap tweeting for a couple of days, and under every single one of his posts, it's at Grok. Is that true? And then Grok says, no. As much as I'd love to tell you, yes, no, this is how much is spent on Snap. This is how much is spent on what? You're a liar.
Also, SNAP benefits are going to businesses. It actually is a type of stimulus that they are just trying to do only supply side stimulus, where they give all their they're cutting SNAP to pay for things that they're doing for the ultra rich. And pretending that that's going to be stimulus for the economy, which it won't.
But stimulus for the economy is having people having the ability to go spend money at the grocery store. I don't have this statistic in front of me, but this is going to impact businesses, severely impact businesses.
Yeah, the claim is that SNAP, if they got rid of SNAP, all the prices would go down. No, prices would go up. SNAP benefits, they're used in certain areas more than others. It actually like decreases the rise of prices. So it slows the increase of prices, and if you get rid of them, then the prices will go up. More families will spend less money, and
that ground beef ain't going down anytime soon, is what you're saying.
Well, we'll see what Argentina has to say about this.
Sure.
And my chili cook-off is tonight.
Oh, no.
Dang.
And you're just you haven't even started anything. Oh,
I know. I'm going to go to Costco and buy my 70-pound barrel of ground beef, and it's going to be a lot more than usual.
I hope you've been budgeting for that.
I haven't.
I want to call out, like, as we're recording, a federal judge has been fortunately somewhat skeptical that the Trump administration can simply suspend SNAP because of the shutdown. The judge said, Congress has put money in an emergency fund. It's hard for me to understand how this isn't an emergency when there's no money and a lot of people are needing their SNAP benefits. Seems pretty straightforward to me. So perhaps a ruling will come out that will have some sort of impact. Right?
Hopefully.
Like Congress sets what money gets spent and the president has to do it. So if the president decides not to, he can't, but sometimes he can.
More people should listen to that judge, specifically Jake Tapper, who was on recently trying to blame the lack of SNAP benefits on Democrats for keeping the government shut down, when, as that judge articulated, and his guest at the time, Melanie Stansbury, a congresswoman, pointed out.
And we're going to do everything we can at the community level to make sure that Americans can put food on the table this weekend.
Should the Democratic,
and we're not going to stand for it.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their. I'm not applauding their tactics.
By the White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This
they
is
are
also,
choosing
Congresswoman,
to
this
cut
is
off
also a
food
choice
assistance.
by Senate Democrats
No,
to not
it is
vote to
not.
open the government. Yes, it is. I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand.
He was like, but Democrats could just join the
just-
Republicans.
you could
I know
just-
you guys don't want to because you're afraid the Medicaid subsidy, but you get to do it.
You could just open the government. And she just kept pointing out, like, okay, but the money's there and the president's deciding not to use it. And you're not blaming the president for this. It's absurd. He should read the news.
One more thing. He should read the news. That would be helpful, especially given his profession.
I know.
Jake, watch this show. We'll clear things up for you. I'm also just sitting here thinking about the inevitability. Hopefully, these things, this judge's ruling, the rumors of having conversations next week, 100% hopefully that moves the needle and we have a resolution to this soon. But even as it stands, that's going to take a while for people to get caught up with what they're owed again around Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it's just so fucked.
Blasted nutrients! We need them to live, and at the moment, eating is the only way to get them. Where's my Soylent Green already? I won't look up what that is, but I've got the next best thing, which is Hungry Root. Hungry Root takes the stress out of mealtime by filling your cart with personalized picks and planning your entire week of meals. They've got over 15,000 recipes to choose from each week, 0 in pill form. But delicious, nutritious, and many ready to eat in 15 minutes or less. That's like a nutrient pill future, kind of, right? And their best price program ensures you get great value on over 100 popular products. Plus, with our special offer, you'll get a free item, like a premium protein, veggie, or sweet treat in every box for life of your Hungry Root subscription, of course. Even if Soylent Green does exist at some point, you can still get your free veggie. I assume Soylent Green is veggies. It'll be a novelty, and you can charge money for people to come into a little tent and look at your rutabaga. Come on, folks! I got a rutabaga! So take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life of the subscription. Go to hungryroot.com/SMN and use code SMN. That's hungryroot.com/SMN, code SMN, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life of the subscription. hungryroot.com/SMN, code SMN. I forgot how it goes. Code SM? I forget how it goes.
When I first started my ambient music podcast, Stolected Ambient Works Volume 2, it felt like I had to do everything. Logos, recording schedules, props, setting up the Moog synthesizer. It was overwhelming. And finding the right tool that simplifies everything can be a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. They have ready-to-use templates to create a beautiful and professional online store that makes my listeners believe that Brian Eno himself is behind the keyboard. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling. And they have world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns. Running a business is now as relaxing as a double album from Stars of the Lid. So turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/more news. Go to shopify.com/more news. Nifty sound. Maybe I can sample that. Ooh, cool.
Ah! This is it, folks, Halloween week. If you're not watching scary movies on Pluto TV for free, what even are you doing? Taking your kids trick-or-treating? Stop trying to guilt trip me. I'm getting down with fan favorite horror movies on Pluto TV, like Paranormal Activity, The Ring, The Haunting of Beach House, Scream, World War ZZ Top, Bloody Ice Cream Sunday, The Call is Coming from Inside the Spouse, From Dusk Till Dawn, Garfield and Odie Get Rabies, Death by Killing, Chekhov's Nail Gun, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Killing by Death, Good Burger, with E. coli, The Imaginarium of Dr. Giggles, and 28 Days Later. You've got a few more days, tops, to watch scary movies before it's a whole month of Thanksgiving movies. So, you know, planes, trains, and automobiles. Home for the holidays, I think? Charlie Brown's probably got one. And that's it. Pluto TV! Stream now! Pay never!
This ad is brought to you by Vive Healthcare, the makers of Apretude, cabotegravir. You never skip your SPF, and you carry hand sanitizer like an accessory. But what are you doing for HIV prevention? One way to help protect yourself from HIV is Apretude, a prescription medicine used to reduce the risk of getting HIV in adults and adolescents weighing at least 77 pounds. You must be HIV negative to receive Apretude and get tested before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. More HIV testing may be needed. Apretude does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex to reduce your risk. Get Apretude as scheduled. Missing doses increases your HIV risk. Don't take Apretude if allergic to it or taking certain medicines that may interact. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions, liver problems, and mental health. Serious side effects include allergic reactions or rash, liver problems, and depression. If these occur, get medical help right away. The most common side effect is injection site reaction. Bring your A game and talk to your doctor. Learn more at apretude.com or call 1-888-240-0340.
Supposedly, according to the United States and Israel, there is still a ceasefire in place, but Israel launched...
Define ceasefire?
Yeah, define ceasefire because it feels like it hasn't ever ceased. The firing has not ceased.
It ceases when... It seems like when Israel wants it to cease, then it's a ceasefire.
Okay.
They launched a really horrifying assault on Gaza a few nights ago. They killed more than 100 Palestinians, including 52 children, and injured 250 more. They say it was retaliation for a firefight where Hamas or a Hamas member shot an Israeli soldier. We don't have details of what happened there. So they say something happened and they retaliated with a horrific war crime.
So the retaliation for an alleged firefight that
Between soldiers
that killed one soldier, the retaliation of that was killing 52 children and 48 adults. But I feel like the 52 children is maybe...
Yeah. People who thought they were safe and were able to move back home.
Because of the deal.
To attempt to rebuild a life.
In retaliation for one soldier killed, 52 children, over 100 people killed, over like 250 injured. Think about the number of people who lost someone, who know someone who was injured, who lost their family, or who were nearby and heard it, saw it, who knew that, maybe someone thought there would be some legs to the ceasefire, somehow, that all of them know it's a lie now. And there was literally something in this Guardian article that was like, they're trying to figure out a prisoner swap where for one Israeli body, they'll give back 15 Palestinian bodies. I mean, it is the equivalent of saying, dynamic. You killed my brother, I'm going to kill your entire family and extended family, especially the children.
And some neighbors too, yeah.
And neighbors and people who I just saw nearby. And they, in this same attack, they targeted tents.
To homes.
homes.
community spaces.
Well, maybe they were
It's,
Hamas tents. We don't know.
Maybe that's
yeah,
what it was.
it's so. This is why, with the ceasefire, there was just cautious optimism and hope that the carnage would stop. But it's so overwhelmingly depressing. There's no recourse for them. The United States wants to pretend desperately that this is nothing to see here, folks. We've done a ceasefire. This is to be expected. Little skirmishes. To me, it's let's all look the other way while this campaign continues. While they continue to take land, to murder people. I've been listening to stories of Palestinians trying to get home and how dangerous it is even to be making these journeys, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there for them to rebuild. There's nothing left. The West Bank, the settlers trying to take more and more land, and there's nobody helping people trying to return home. There's danger everywhere. It's fucking chaos. And everybody so desperately wants to pretend that Donald Trump solved this that they're just ignoring it for the time being anyway.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Right? For the peace president. Yeah, they need to pretend that they did it, and they will continue to do that while Palestinians are subjugated, slaughtered, oppressed, and more of their lives are destroyed, and more of the lives are destroyed. You mentioned skirmishes. I just want to read this, what you're referencing. The vice president, we've mentioned him a couple times this episode. We mentioned him a lot recently. He's just a massive piece of shit. So we're going to keep doing that. He said that the ceasefire is holding. Debatable. That doesn't mean that there aren't going to be little skirmishes here and there. And that's what you were referencing, Katie. And I wanted to highlight that because that is such a disgusting, dishonest, Vancian way to describe 52 children and 48 adults being brutally killed in response to this thing. And it is little skirmishes, blew up some fishermen. Just the callousness that he has for human beings is really, really disgusting, alarming, embarrassing, shameful, especially when he's out there saying, like, if you treat a dog poorly, you're a psychopath. Well, actually, JD, maybe you're a fucked up person for everything that you have said and continue to say in service of the things that the administration is doing.
Don't
now.
treat your dogs poorly, but
obviously don't do that. Obviously treat your dogs well.
It was one of the deadliest days in the entire conflict. I mean, entire is broad, but of the last couple of years, it's one of the deadliest days. And they're saying that the ceasefire is still standing.
Mm-hmm.
In what world?
It's a skirmish.
In what world? That's not anywhere near reality. And I think it does a disservice to everyone to pretend that, like, we know what the goal of Israel is. They want every single Palestinian off that land, whether they die or whether they're pushed into the refugee diaspora somewhere. They want all of that land to be absorbed. And it's not subtle. Trump put a Trump Gaza AI hellscape video up where he turned Gaza into a gold-plated Trump Disneyland. Are we supposed to be pretending that this is a war between two armed forces?
The numbers go by, when you talk about a massacre like this, and when you see the total numbers since 2023, it's pretty staggering. And this one just really hit me. Last night we took our toddler to get ice cream, and I was really overcome because I just saw the joy of him eating chocolate chip ice cream and smiling. And I had just written this research doc an hour before, and it hits you that 52 kids don't get to do that. That because of something we don't even know about, because it's a little skirmish, as J.D. Vance says, we're going to snuff out all this life and never let people have these simple joys that it's easy to take for granted. And, 52 is the number right now, and who knows what the number will be next time they decide the ceasefire's down for 5 minutes.
But then think about the 250 people injured. How many of those people are children? How many of those people, because I follow a emergency room doctor from Palestine, and you get to see what being injured looks like.
You didn't sprain your ankle.
It is surgery without anesthesia. It is shrapnel in the faces of kids. It's not just the dead. It is so much broader than that, the violence,
Yeah, no, you're right. They're injured, but what will their quality of life be like, especially in a country with no resources and no home to go to,
no place to
go, because
it
just, and now your
Lifelong
whole family
trauma.
is dead. Lifelong trauma, a generational trauma that then gets carried down. It is overwhelming, and it's fucking appalling that we're still having this conversation.
And there's no leaders really
later,
trying to make peace.
They want to pretend that it's already happened.
Done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, little skirmishes, small price to pay for peace. Peace.
Daniel, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And if you're feeling spooky, go check out my channel, Manboy Nice, and there's 2 spooky ooky videos for you to watch.
That's all.
Ookie.
You've got your Halloween plans, folks. You're going to spend it with Daniel.
Come on.
You know what's good for you.
Get out there.
Oh.
Bring your phone so you can watch it outside.
Yeah,
obviously.
get out there to the great outdoors.
But get out there
and
then watch it. Yeah.
And then also your phone will be ready to film any nefarious goings on done by the government. Win, win, win.
Or
win,
ghosts.
Win. Also, while you're watching, give it a like and a subscribe, because those are really important. Heck, while you're you could give it to us too if you wanted. We likes and subscribe.
Please
accept your likes,
do, in fact.
And your subscribes.
In fact, it really helps.
There's a button that says hype now. I don't know what that is, but that's a button on YouTube. There's a button on YouTube now that says hype on videos. It's like, hype this video.
Up.
You get a certain number of hype points to spend.
Okay, we need to be leaning into the hype.
I don't even think we're in the hype cycle, but I'll look into this.
I don't think we're in the
We're going to look into this hype cycle. If you see something that you want to hype it up. And most importantly, I want you to remember that we hype you very much.
Much, yeah!